So I'm wondering here, have you ever had a time when you've just had enough? You're just frustrated when something is hard, it won't get better. You're just done, right? You're just fed up. So we're going to see today about King David. Remember King David? He's a king. And he's had it. He just is frustrated. I wonder what a king would have to be frustrated about. Now, we've been learning about songs that he wrote in the Bible. They're called psalms, but they actually were written to be songs. And we've been looking at Psalm 19. So, in Psalm 19, King David is learning to know God, and he's excited. And remember the first part of it, he was getting to know God by what God made in nature, right? And it was wonderful. He could see how God was in control and just cared for everything in nature. And then he got excited to know God better when he realized that God had words in the Bible. And he could learn more and more about God from these words that showed that God really cares for every single person. So now in this last part, just 3 verses, he's finishing up his song. All right? So here is what knowing God better has been showing him. He's going to kind of sum this up, what he realizes. And King David realizes he needs God's help to stop doing bad things. So all of this has shown him, ooh, there's something inside of me that's just not good, and I need help. A king? What could a king need help with? He can do whatever he wants, right? But he's gotten to know God, so now he knows that there's good things and that there's bad things. So we're going to see what King David has to say about these bad things. Sins, right? Sin is the word for doing bad, wrong things. And King David figures out there are 2 kinds of sins. There's lots of sins we can do, but there's 2 kinds, all right? So the first one is when you do something that you don't know is wrong. How is that even possible? Well, let's see what he has to say. So in verse 12 of Psalm 19, and I'll tell you what these are in a little bit, because you're going to start seeing that. All right. Okay, King David writes, or actually this was going to be a song. He says, how can I know all the sins lurking in my heart? Cleanse me from these hidden faults. So how does King David feel? He's asking this question. Oh, how can I know? He's a little overwhelmed. You ever feel that way? He's like, I don't even know what's going on inside of me. There's all this bad stuff, and what can I do about it? Yeah. So we can feel that way, don't we? Now, you see this kind of the silly picture here? That's this guy here, all right? Alligator. Now, here's why I've got the alligator. I know this is weird. All right. Alligator is here because it's the idea of lurking. So an alligator, it swims underwater, and it just has its eyes above and just enough of its nose above the water to where it can see what it wants to grab and eat. But the thing that it wants to grab and eat can't see it until it's too late. And then that's it. It got eaten. That's what sins are like. They can be in there and you don't even know they're there until it might be too late. So what are some of those sins? Just think about this, because you're like, what could be a sin that I don't even know I'm doing? Really, it can. How about when there's somebody you just don't like, and you're thinking, I don't like how this person does this, but this just is not a nice person, and I don't want, I don't want anything to do with them. Do you know that thinking bad things is a sin? And you might not even know that you're doing that. Or how about somebody who has really done something mean to you on purpose? They deserve to be told something mean right back, right? And so you do. But that's a sin, and you might not notice it. Saying bad words. We hear bad words all the time, don't we? Watching movies and just hearing people talk. And we can say those bad words and not even think about it. Well, that's sin too. And that would make me frustrated too, huh? Yeah. So, what do you think God does when you do those kinds of sins, the ones you don't know about? Well, he doesn't punish you for not knowing. It's a good thing, isn't it? You don't have to feel real guilty if you didn't know, or you forgot. What he does is this: cleanse me, says King David, from these hidden faults. And we see our little scrub brush. Yeah. So he cleans you up. God cleans you up. When you learn from the Bible what's right, it's like God is scrubbing away the dirt, and then we can see clearly. Oh, now I understand. So the more you do that, the more God's going to clean you. And King David said, I need that help because I can't do this. I know I can't do this. Yeah. So the second kind of sin he's going to talk about next. All right, so this one. Yeah, we're going to have this in a minute, right? Okay. So he says, also, keep me from the sins I want to commit. May they not be my master. Then I will be free of guilt. I will not be guilty of any great sin. Sins I want to commit. Do we sit down in the morning and go, what bad things do I want to do today? Yeah, that would be easy, wouldn't it? Because then we could choose. Easy. All right, but here's an example. Okay, so now I know this would never happen. Let's say you were really mad at me. You were so mad at me. And you were so mad that you just wanted to get back at me. So you went to a friend who knows me, and you might say, you know what? Pamela steals stuff from the grocery store. Well, now, is that true? Of course not. I don't think I've ever done that. I don't think I will. But you knew it was a lie, and you did it on purpose just because it made you feel good to get back at me because I'd been mean. But I didn't, so that was just sort of a silly example. Yeah. So, King David is worried that these sins that feel so good when we do them could end up being his what? Master. Well, how can sin be that powerful that it could tell a king what to do? Well, think of the smartphone, right? Most of us have ones that look pretty much like this, right? So it's easy to just touch one of those icons, open something up, and you do it again, and you do it again, and sometimes you start not noticing what's going on around you. Sometimes when you touch an icon, you start looking at something that isn't very good for you. Maybe it's just silly, or maybe it's even bad, or it makes you angry, and you just can't stop. Or sometimes, and I had this happen to me once, one time I was talking to somebody, and suddenly I heard a voice in my purse talking. What? And I picked up my phone. Somehow, my phone had dialed someone, and they were like, hello, hello. It was controlling my phone, right? So that kind of reminds us that what can happen is that every time we give in to those sins that we feel like doing at that moment, we give up control. And it's easier and easier next time and next time to do those sins. And King David understood that, yeah. So, it sure sounds like he's getting tired of sinning. Yeah, definitely. Now, what do you think that God does when you do the second kind of sin? The bad things you want to do. Okay? So think of saying sorry to someone. When you say sorry, boy, God likes that, right? But when you say sorry to a person, do they always forgive you? Sometimes they just stay mad, don't they? Yeah. Sometimes they say, I'm tired of hearing you say you're sorry. Yeah. And sometimes they even say, you do that bad thing too much, just go away, I don't even want to talk to you. It can happen, yeah. Is that what God thinks, though, when you come to him? Let's find out. Now, this is from another part of the Bible, but this is really good. I would say if you could have this on a little card or record it or something, always remember this. Look what it says. If we confess our sins to God, He can always be trusted to forgive us and take our sins away. And look, we got our scrub brush again. Remember? Taking our sins away. It's like he scrubs